Check, check. 1, 2. We good now? Ah! It went back out? Wait, not y'all can't hear each other in Zoom? What about now? All right, let me pull the board back up because I found that the error was in the restream. Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. You coming through loud and clear.
Mic check.
Like, you're not coming through.
Check, check. All right, now I hear it. Now I hear Stu.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, we good now.
Yeah. What happened?
Y'all hear me?
The restream was on.
Yeah, I can hear it now, yeah.
The restream was on my turntables. So I had to take that off and put it on the board. And then since I closed the board, it couldn't hear y'all. So I just had to open the board back up.
All right, remember
I'm
that.
getting the feedback though now.
Yeah, it's a feedback. It's the echo. I hear echo.
Because y'all got the volume.
Is that your TV, Stu?
Turn the volume down on one of y'all devices.
Your TV, Stu, or your
that's a little better. I'm coming through better now, but Reno still got an echo.
Yeah, if one of y'all got the if one of y'all's playing it, y'all gotta mute it.
Might be Reno.
there you go.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yep.
Oh, that was me then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We good now.
Yeah,
we
that
good,
was you,
people.
man.
Hip hop and comics, Fullblast Radio. We are in the building.
In the building.
Comic Crusaders is in the building. Salute.
Wepa.
Wepa. Salute, Mick the Collar. Lido's Way.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank y'all for
Mario.
patience. Yoshi, what's
Yeah,
up?
man. Y'all the best, man, for hanging in. So we kind of already started talking about WandaVision in the chat.
Yeah.
And so we was gonna try to break that down. So what do y'all think? Do y'all like it, or you think it has potential?
If it was gonna be the same episode where they weren't gonna do nothing, then I'd have been like, come on. But near the end, well, obviously, whatever she did to the black woman, shot her ass out of the sky, and she flew, and then you see all those agents.
Yeah,
and it looked like it was some type of setup.
It was like a little mobile SWORD facility.
Yeah,
properly.
Yeah, because you saw
like
the
emblem
that she had on her chest, so you knew
SWORD.
was a member of SWORD.
SWORD emblem, right? Stu, what's her name, man? I keep forgetting it.
Rambo.
Yeah,
Monica Rambeau. Yeah,
Monica Rambeau. Yeah, when they shot her ass, she shot her ass out of there.
Yeah, she just popped out into reality. But that was, again, it was at the very end, just like that beekeeper thing. It just giving us little tidbits during the episode.
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit more though. They gave a little bit more because at least they went back to the what's really real, what's really going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see it unfold. I've been seeing some critics about it saying people are only saying it's good just because it's Marvel.
Yeah.
I agree it's going slow. It's starting slow, but I think they just need to build it up.
Yeah, I think it's good. because it's Marvel, not just because it's Marvel, but because Marvel puts, effort into their joints. They write it, they have good writers, they have great actors, and they do, they got all the money in the world to do whatever they want. So, I think because it's Marvel, even though it's not super like, Marvel superheroes, like a whole lot of Marvel stuff going on, it's still made by a great company that's making a quality product. So even though it's not what we really want, it's still good. Like, it's still holding my, like, it's still, I still want to see the next episode.
Yeah, exactly.
But in this one, it was great because we really got things shaken up. Like, Vision noticing that the pregnancy was happening way too fast. Like, she's just, the next morning, she's ready to have the baby.
Where'd that come from?
She manifested the butterflies when she said it was like fluttery feeling. The butterflies came alive, and so you can see her manifesting things. So, because you got to remember, a lot of the people watching this show might not know about the comic, probably don't know about the comic. Right. They're probably just fans of the movie.
I was getting ready to say the same thing, It's all been playing out just like the comic,
Okay.
Right. And so they have to kind of spoon feed it to the people that don't know about the comic, sort of let them discover on their own, like, whoa, this is like, something's not right here. Like, what's going on? And that's kind of what the first ones were. But now they just really kind of showed everybody that don't know, like, something ain't right. And Wanda has power here. Like, Wanda can create something. And it seems like the people that are there don't know what's going on. Like the neighbor, it was funny because he came outside and he was like cutting the brick wall. And he was like, you kind of went past the hedges, right? And he was just like, oh, yeah, so I did.
Yeah, and then he kept doing it. But it was weird, though, when he was talking to the lady and they were like whispering. And it was like...
It seemed like they knew what time it was then.
Yeah, like something was going on, like they knew. And they were like
when he was cutting the brick, I was thinking, oh, he's just like a NPC, like a non-player character. He's just an autonomous, character, that's something she created. But then, like you was just saying, when they were talking, he seemed pretty, sentient, pretty conscious.
And wasn't she like, don't trust her? Talking about Monica Rambeau?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I gotta go. She started being smiling and just walked away. I was like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, it's like some reason they don't want whoever is either Wanda or Sword to kind of know that they know. So that's why it was weird, and that's why she kind of just went back into the role of that TV show character that she was being. Yeah.
Now Sword is not evil, right? They're supposed to be good, correct?
Yeah, they're like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, they're good. They're S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay. They're the cosmic version of S.H.I.E.L.D. They deal with all the outer...
good. But they like do a lot of sideways shit.
He do
like the CIA, right? And they say like, they're the good guys, but they do a lot of foul shit.
Yeah.
And they get paid for what don't happen. That's the best way you can.
But S.H.I.E.L.D. is the big,
government
protector of the of stuff that's going on Earth.
Yeah.
Sword is
space,
dealing with space or other realities, anything that comes into our reality, either from space or the multiverse or whatever.
Yeah.
Outside threats.
So I'm thinking maybe
and
maybe that lady's maybe Hydra or something, because she's saying, yo, don't trust Monica Rambeau. If they're the good guys and you telling her that means you must be bad. And you got these Hydra clues in there. Maybe they're part of Hydra?
No, remember Monica Rambeau was part of Sword.
No. I'm saying
he's saying the other people.
Don't trust
the other people. Oh yeah, bro. Because the other one, the other woman is a witch, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. We think she's the witch that trained her to use her power.
Yes,
in the comics.
Right. Yeah.
And her boyfriend is
Agatha Harkness.
Agatha Harkness. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the old lady. Agatha's the real old lady.
Yeah, right, but she can appear. Right, she can appear to be whatever she wants. Yeah. And then, what I'm saying, as time go on, I forget the black, his name. He also has a role in that too. It's important, but we also have to understand that there's somebody watching all of that take place and manipulating it at the same time. So we don't know who it is, but we do know like there's 10 different Marvel characters that got to be holding the remote. Because at the beginning and end, they show the remote. They show the person with the remote.
Yeah.
And they click it. Mm-hmm. So you got to ask yourself who's holding. Nah, that's all part of the show. People don't know it. Okay. It's an Easter egg, but it's part of the show. Mm-hmm. So you got, let's see, Magneto could be one character. Charles Xavier could be another. It could be Arcade. It could be a Watcher. It could be Doom. It could be Loki. One of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Sword could be the ones watching it. You know what I mean? And then it could be somebody in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Because we do know her show is supposed to be something that leads into the,
multiverse of madness. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's a lot of possibilities.
Right.
And then we definitely, but like we said, we had that Calgon commercial. Well, I call it the Calgon commercial, but the commercial where they was like, take you to escape to a world all your own. And it was Hydra soap or Hydra soap. Yeah. So it was like a 2-part little Easter egg. It was like letting people that don't know that there might be, this is a world that is all your own, right? Where your problems go away. So it's like she created this world where Vision wasn't dead and everything was peachy and all of that. Mm-hmm. And but then we had Monica when she noticed the pendant. Monica kind of didn't know what she was talking about, and Monica doesn't seem to know that she's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, a Sword agent rather. Monica seems to be fooled by the charade also, because she really didn't know what was going on. And then when she got popped out into reality and she woke up in the grass, she still was mad confused. Yeah. So I think they might have to debrief her there. I think maybe she might be she's a Sword plant, like a spy that they sent her into Wanda's world, and maybe when she goes in, she can't know who she is.
Yeah, but remember she was asking her about Pietro, though? That's what made me think maybe she did know something. Because she was like, you remember what happened with Pietro, with Ultron? Remember she said that? I was like, oh, shoot. And then all of a sudden, like you said, she went back to, I got to go. But then Wanda was like, yeah, you need to go.
You talking about the white girl or the black girl?
The black girl. Monica.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
She brought up her brother. Well, she was like, I didn't know Pietro.
Because remember she started talking about her brother.
Yeah.
But remember when...
And then remember Monica Rambeau said he was killed by Ultron.
Yeah.
And then that's when she started kind of like, she was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, how'd you know?
Yeah, she didn't like the way that came out. Mm-hmm. And then she started remembering. She was like, you need to go.
And she sent
then she pushed her. Yeah, she sent her out. Yeah.
Sent her out.
He was like, don't be like that. But see, remember also when Vision, when she was talking to Vision, and he was like realizing shit wasn't right, and he started to come to her like, like something is wrong, Wanda. And Wanda wished it to where she rewound it like ponder replay, and then real fucking happy, like everything was cool, like he didn't know. Right. It made her be like, oh, he's not, he's being, we got to make things perfect again. Mm-hmm. So they might have, she might be keeping Monica Rambeau from kind of knowing who she is, and she might be creeping in her reality or her consciousness. But
But remember, Monica had the sword symbol on her necklace.
Yeah.
So
but
that's
she didn't know what it was.
Right. Well, or she pretended to not know.
She pretended, but they kind of did it like to let us know that she didn't know. That's what I think anyway.
But check it, when she whisked her out of her reality, and she went to the real world, it was nighttime. And then remember, all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents came in. I mean, Sword agents surrounded her, and they took her away.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so obviously they know. Right. Obviously they know what's going on in there. That's why I said it could be one of them holding the remote.
But she don't know. But why does Monica Rambeau, I don't think, knows fully.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
I get the feeling that she do know something, because why would she bring up Pietro was killed by Ultron? That happened in the real reality.
Yeah. So she said that.
You're not wrong about that.
Yeah, she said that real quick. She was like, wait a minute, he was killed by
thinking
Ultron.
About when she made Vision rewind, like she can kind of control what people in there know. You know, she made Vision forget that shit was, you know.
Yeah.
But remember, Vision is dead.
Well,
but
I know she's a crazy. But remember, Vision is. I get it.
Well, no, remember, Vision is actually, because she has the powers of the mind. Because her powers are created by the Mind Stone. She can actually bring Vision back to life. Like, so that is Vision. But she just can't bring him out of that world. Like, that is him. And you're right.
Why
she can't
bring him to life.
She actually has the power to do it, but she just doesn't know it. Because remember, in Doctor Strange, the guy said, he said from the stones, the energy can't really be destroyed. Just it can be transferred, but it can't be destroyed entirely. So we know when they killed Vision, you know what I mean? He was, what's your name? Thanos brought the stone back. But then they never really addressed the issue of that one stone at the end of the other movie. Because remember, they had all the stones. And remember, they took them all back in time. So we don't know what they did with that last stone. Because technically, it got destroyed, and then Thanos brought it back. Yeah. So they don't actually have to put that stone back. They can put that stone back somewhere else. Because if you think about it, in... Not jumping off the subject, but all right, Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Gamora is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. Mm-hmm. We know that she died, and they went and plucked her from a different part of the timeline. So there's Gamora, but it's reality, right. It's just Gamora from a different time, but it's Gamora.
That's why she punched what's her name, because she didn't know who he was.
Right.
She kicked him in the nuts. Yeah.
right. Star-Lord. So Star-Lord, yeah. Because you got because speaking of Love and Thunder with Thor, Storm and Nova will be coming to the Marvel Universe. Mm-hmm. That's been confirmed.
I heard that.
That's been confirmed. It's confirmed. Storm is confirmed. It is confirmed. It is definitely confirmed.
I mean, they're definitely bringing the mutants in. It's not.
No, I know that, but it was confirmed that she's in that movie.
Yeah, she's going to make a cameo appearance.
What movie? Oh, Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Yeah, she will be part of the Thor Corp.
Wow.
And the Thor Corp is Beta Ray Bill, Drago, Couture, Thunderstrike, Throg, Groot, Gamora, Sif, and Angelica Storm. Those are the Thor Corp.
And Metro Customer said House of M, Captain America's an old man, and that's right. And so we know Captain America's been an old man in the MCU. And now we know Wanda. See, now Wanda made, she made all the mutants go away during that time. And so that's from Xavier bringing her out of this WandaVision world because, and making her realize that her kids she created weren't real and Vision is dead. And by making her realize that and making her leave that world away, I think that's what pissed her off and made her wipe out the mutants. So this could be that spectacle.
Where does WandaVision take place in the comics? Is it during House of M or is it before? Like, where does that take place?
You got to remember, House of M is actually a retelling of the original stories we got in the 80s and 70s as a way of Marvel. Well, remember when Marvel was owned by, I mean, not Marvel, when X-Men was owned by Fox and Fox wouldn't give it up. Yeah. Well, Marvel got mad and was like, you know what? We'll just tell a new mutant story. We'll do our own thing. We'll rewrite the X-Men universe. So basically, they're rewriting it. They're doing the same story, but they're just rewriting it in their own version, separate from the continuity that Fox could have used. So now Fox can use the old continuity, but they can't use the new stuff. And if they do, they got to put their own. They got to do their own thing, which Marvel probably wouldn't allow them to do. So that's the problem.
Fantastic Four. They
right
in the comic,
Yeah, it was House of M. It was House of M when she said no more mutants.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm talking about WandaVision. Like, what's going on now?
Oh. Well, I think
that happened in the comics.
When did that happen?
I didn't know about that in the comics.
Yes.
That's an older comic back in.
Oh, it's old. So it's
that's an older joint. Yeah.
80s, 60s, 70s. I don't know, like 70s.
Yeah. 80s. Happened like in the 80s, like in the early 80s and mid 80s. It happened, and they talked about it, and the comic was dope. It actually played out like the TV show, but with less flair. But it was, with less of I Dream of Jeannie type, Brady Bunch type flair.
Yeah.
But it played out.
And, you know, like I've always said, we are in the age of information, so there's no reason for us to be wondering what it is. Let's look it up. So she, what it's saying right here, it would be the 1968 vision or the. Okay, I thought this was gonna really get right to it. This is a whole thing, but willing to otherwise.
What's he looking for?
Yeah, I mean, because they made this Vision mini series, and in that mini series, there's the whole WandaVision thing is going on too. But what I'm talking about is not in that. I'm talking about when Xavier, you know, broke into her mind and made her.
It made her remember. Yeah, it made her get out. Yeah. Told it was all a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she was making it up. Yeah.
And she bugged out.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at, because I knew all of this before, and I know it, but I'm trying to find the exact name of the comics and all of that for people watching, so they can go read those and find out exactly what's going on.
While he's doing that, we also know that Matt Damon is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder. We also know that now too. He played Loki in the last movie, and in the credits, it even says unnamed Asgardian actor when it refers to his character in the last Thor movie. So we know that he's in, I guess, New Zealand now, doing his quarantine time. He has to do his 10-day quarantine or whatever. And he's actually gonna be in the movie. And like I said, when you got the Thor Core was also an Avengers Secret Wars Battle World storyline. That's where the Thor Core comes from. And we do know that, you know, all of the Guardians of the Galaxy are gonna make an appearance in Thor: Love and Thunder. And then we know Storm has to make one. We know Beta Ray Bill is already in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because there was a statue of his head in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
When they were on the one planet. Yes. So we already know that.
So I just wanted to let y'all know it was House of M, and this whole thing is based on House of M, right? When she created the reality, that is House of M. I just wanted to make sure that it was House of M. That I know it's House of M where she gets mad and takes out the mutant. But I wanted to make sure that that's where they talk where this whole, you know, warped reality thing, and it is House of M. And it looks like Metro Customer beat me to it. He already said it right there.
Oh, 1 second, guys. Go ahead, though.
But yeah, man, Spadenomics, what's up, brother?
Yeah, bro, y'all doing all right?
Yeah, bro, I can't barely hear you.
Oh, let me see. Check the audio. Yeah, I'm doing
funny.
Okay.
Now I hear you good. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Real good. Man, I wanted to.
What's going on? What's going on, Parker? What's going on?
I wanted to bring you on, man, Stu Dog, man, and Tiger, to meet you and for everybody to get to know you and know about your YouTube channel, man. Tell everybody where you at.
I'm at channel 1ACE7 on YouTube, 1ACE7.
So like the number one.
Yeah, the number
digit one ACE.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And I just got through doing the interview with Cooks 24 on location at the comic shop in Decatur, Alabama. It's about 35 minutes from where I live at, so that's what took me so long getting home. Plus, people don't know how to drive in Alabama.
Yeah. So, like that everywhere.
They kind of suck here, man.
I know they can't drive in Virginia or Florida.
But yeah, man, thank you for the invite. I'm glad to be here. You know, trying to share some of what I know and learn some stuff from everybody too.
Yeah, I saw your interview with Cooks, man, and you are very knowledgeable. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna put your channel in the chat. Somebody's asking, but yeah, you're very knowledgeable in comics, man. And I wanted to make sure everybody knew where to find you, and sort of support your your channel and everything, because it's a small demographic of us that are like hip hop, and then we also deal with comics. You know what I mean? That's not the general. Like when you go on YouTube and you find comic book channels or you see stores, it's always like, not just white guys, but people that you wouldn't really consider hip hop.
Right. Right.
And it's not a black or white thing. It's a hip hop culture thing. That's what I'm trying to say. And, I feel like we should, stick together and lift each other up and help represent, our demographic. Because it is a lot of us out here, and I think our voice is important because, you have these two big voices right now in comics, this SJW sort of woke woman's voice, and then you got the sort of the white man who's mad that, they took their white man leads out and they want to make, all the leads female and people of color. Then you got real fans in the middle that, yeah, we don't like what they did to Luke and all of that, but it ain't because he's a white man. It's because that's Luke Skywalker.
Right.
So we got our own, sort of tribe of people that I think we should stick together, bro. And I saw a couple of your videos. I see some of your collection, man. I just wanted to welcome you into the family, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Hey,
how long you been doing this?
Reno.
I've been
go ahead.
I started really when I was a kid, man. A cousin of mine had given me my first comic book when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I just fell in love with it. Then, of course, like most things, when you become a teenager, you kind of want to fit in with the crowd, so you put stuff up that is being babyish,
Yeah.
But I started back collecting when I was about 24, 25. Couple of guys. I used to do professional wrestling as well. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
What do you mean, like you were a professional wrestler?
I was a professional wrestler. I have some.
Have we
matches
seen
on
you
my
in
YouTube
anything,
channel.
like on TV?
You probably haven't, because it was more independent, and unless it was like local stuff, I did some local TV in Nashville, some in Georgia, and in Alabama. Kind of where I'm based at. But I did a dark match for TNA once back in like 2007. So it was kind of fun, I'm just like, I'm retired from the business right now. It just kind of transitioned on into comic book. And when I was about 24, 25 is when I started back getting my collection in comic books going. I started with graphic novels. A buddy of mine, when we were about, I guess I was about 31, 32, he did what was called the Geek Gathering here in Alabama. It was a comic book convention, pop culture expo. And he called me. He was like, "Yo, man, I got this thing I want to do. You got a lot of cool stuff. Do you want to showcase it, sell it?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know. I don't know if anybody would buy from me. Just try it." All right, fine. I'll try it. And it just kind of exploded from there. So now I'm kind of keeping up with what's modern, what's hot, what I don't have in my collection, what I do have. And my ultimate goal is to get more black people involved, but more people in general involved in this genre, because I'm just like, it's a great thing to do, great thing to be in.
No, you could say that, man. More black people.
Yeah, but I mean, my thing is, I want to get more people to read. Bottom line,
right.
Like I was telling Cooks, when he was interviewing you too, reading is fundamental, and it's real. You just knowledge on stuff.
That's why a bunch of my collection is novels, books. That's what the real stories are.
No doubt. And but yeah, I definitely, like, one of my goals is to get more black people involved in it, because I hear people all the time where I would watch this show if there were more black people. I would watch this movie if there were more black people. Like, okay, well, get involved in something, like look for and demand it. I'm like, the only way they're gonna put this out is if you demand for it. Do your research. There's still great black characters, other than what we know, like Black Panther, Luke Cage, and Black Light. You still have a Green Lantern, John Stewart. You have Cyborg. You have Storm. but you have other black characters that people don't know. Yeah,
Rocket. Icon. Yeah, don't forget like Hardware, the Syndicate.
Exactly. You know, the Milestone.
Don't forget War Machine. We got War Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Static Shock.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, when you have these characters that people are not as pushed mainstream as like a Superman or Batman or Captain America or Spider-Man or something, you have to make that noise, create that buzz, and them characters will start to come to the mainstream. I tweet a lot, especially the DC Comics, about y'all own the rights to Icon and Hardware and Static. Why aren't you doing something with these characters?
Yeah. You know what? I agree. Like all these TV shows they came out with, Flash, Supergirl, and all that. They could have used that. They could have said,
did we lose the stream? Stu, are we still streaming on YouTube? I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no, we're good.
I was having problems with mine. Okay, man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I thought Tiger's gone.
Yeah, when they came out with, you know, a Stargirl and all that, they could have put the whole Dakotaverse on. It's something new. It's something fresh. It's something nobody's ever seen.
Exactly.
You know, and it'd be somebody be like, oh man, you know what? I never heard of these cats. And then, you know, it's just pushing the DC. DC bought the whole Dakotaverse. They bought Milestone Comics.
Yeah.
And they just put the characters on the shelf. I think it was because the whole Milestone thing was black owned. It was all black artists. And they had a buzz. They were literally on the heels of, you know, the major players, Marvel and DC.
You know, when the late great Dwayne McDuffie and his crew, when they started Milestone Universe, you know that's exactly what they started it for.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Right.
And you're 100% like right. Said, when DC kind of bought them, you know, after they had Dwayne writing on Justice League and other characters, and some of the Justice League books were great. I own some of them from that run. And it's like after he passed away, or when he was doing that, and after he passed away, they just like sat on it. They tried to do something with Static Shock, but I was like, the way they wrote Static Shock in that New 52 universe, it was weird.
It was weird, yeah.
Why? Well, like, what's going on? Why are y'all having this? Because this ain't even nothing like the cartoon, and that was great.
The cartoon was dope. I liked the cartoon. I thought it was good, and they did a good job on it too.
Yeah,
you know, they just, you know, but when it came, because remember they had Superman versus Icon. Remember they had a battle.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, because I think it was the crossover event when they merged the two universes. Worlds collide. When they crossed them over, and then Dakotaverse was permanently part of, you know, the DC universe.
Yeah,
you got Dakota City, you got Bloodhaven, Metropolis, Gotham, Star City, and I forget it's one more city. Flash is the Emerald City or something like that. Where Green Lantern's from. The original Green Lantern. Coast City and Emerald City. Yep. Yeah. So, you know, DC does that. And they have the most diverse lineup of superheroes you could think of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you got different Green Lantern. You got a Spanish female Green Lantern. You got a white guy. You got a black guy. You just don't have I think you got a male Puerto Rican in there too.
You got Arabian. You know,
you got an Arabian,
Green Lantern.
Arabic, yeah. You got an Arabic Green Lantern. Don't forget Blue Beetle.
Yeah,
the kid that Rami Reyes, the dude that's Blue Beetle now, is a young Arabic kid. So DC has the most diverse, you know, collection of heroes, but they don't push the agenda like that.
No, they just sit on them, and it's like you can't just.
And Marvel's coming out with Riri Williams and Aranya, the Latina Spider Woman that we was talking about the other day, and Black Iron Man.
Yeah, don't forget you know, we still got Miles Morales.
DC also has a fantastic
but DC has
character called Naomi.
DC has a very robust non-white, so you say, and female core character, and they're strong. Like they're not weak characters. Yeah, the storylines aren't weak. You know, the stories are strong and everything, man. It's deep. It's really deep. They don't push them.
They don't. They really don't. And that's one thing, like with my wife and my sister, they read Naomi's comic book, and they were both like, when are we gonna get more? Because they were so enthralled with it, they loved it. I loved it. I was like, I collected the series. I mean, it's worth money because first appearances and stuff. But I collected because I'm like, yo, this is a black teenage girl who discovers she has superpowers, and her favorite character is Superman, and she gets to meet him, so it really impacts her life. And I'm just like, yo, this is really some good stuff. I bought the graphic novel for my sister. My wife and I, we shared the single issues, and it's just like, y'all have got to do more with her. And I mean, they done some recently with her interacting with Superman and Batman, but I'm like, y'all got to do more. I know there are rumors of her having her own show on the CW. So
CW can push all of that. Yeah, they could push all of that on CW. I mean, because people want the content. They just don't forget you got Kid Flash.
You say that your wife does comic book with you?
Yeah, my wife, she's into getting into collecting and stuff with me too.
That's incredible, bro.
You're a lucky man. You're the jackpot. You're the jackpot.
Man.
She be at somebody, the mailman drop off a package. There ain't more comic books, is it?
She'll be like, man, your books are here. So
we wish.
You don't give it much slack. I mean, much flack about it. She, supports my dream and I guess my habit too. You know what I'm saying? Which is collecting the bond. And sometimes we'll be scrolling through stuff on the internet. And she'll be like, "Look at this book. Look at this book. What is this book worth?" And she even goes and finds stuff for me. And I'm just like, "How in the hell did you find this?" Like, I can't even find it, but she can find it. I'm just
about her finding something for you that you.
Well, women got powers, man. Yeah, women got powers, man. You ever see the Cannonball Run? They go in there and show a little bit of cleavage, and they be like, we just happen to have a copy right here. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? They might tell she come and show a little cleavage. They be like, you know what? I forgot all about this. Here you go.
Exactly. And
you can get it at a day. You get 20% off the deck.
That's what I'm getting ready to say. You'll get a discount on top of that.
You get a discount, yeah. And so, Parker, what's your favorite? What is your favorite DC character to date?
Superman.
Okay, why? Which iteration and why?
Well, I grew up on Christopher Reeve one. I've just always liked Superman ever since I saw Superman 2 when I was little.
Yeah, I like Superman 2. That was dope.
The reason he is my favorite is one, I relate to him. A lot of people say they relate to Batman better, but I relate to Superman because I don't know any billionaires personally. But I do know what it's like to feel
Tiger's a billionaire, but he don't. Tiger's a billionaire, but he don't lose. That's his superpower. That's his superpower. His superpower is he's a billionaire. That's his superpower. See that? See, look. See how he did that? But what do superheroes do? They deny their secret identity.
I'm out here. I want to let that thing off. I just got had me get some talking practice.
Listen, and his only disguise is the hat and the glasses. He takes that off. Billionaire. Boom.
Secret's out now, bro.
Yeah, that's his secret identity. Billionaire. But that's a superpower.
That's a superpower.
Yeah.
But I relate to Superman because I know what it's like to feel like you don't fit in. I know what it's like to feel kind of alienated. I know what it's like to, kind of carry responsibility. And Superman does try to do what's right, not necessarily what's necessary. And, he looks for the good in people. And that's something that is a self-quality of me, even though somebody might treat you now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not naive or just no dummy. If somebody going to treat you bad, then, you kind of brush dirt off your shoulders, keep on going.
Yeah.
But he looks for the good in people, and I try to do the same thing because I'm like, I think deep down, a lot of people are inherently good. Some might not know how to go about doing it. And just the example that he set is, inspiring to me personally. So I think that's the reason why he's my favorite. And Marvel side, my favorite have always been like Luke Cage and Black Panther.
Okay. Luke Cage and Black Panther. That's...
Power Man and Iron Fist. That was one of my favorite comics.
Man, that was a great comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they teamed up a lot. Yeah, they did. They teamed up a whole lot.
You ever get into the mutants?
I did, man. I like the X-Men. I think my favorites are in X-Men are Storm, no particular order. Storm, Wolverine, Gambit, Professor X himself. Cyclops was always a punk to me. I was just like,
Boy Scout ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did switch, man. He did.
Yeah, man. I was kind of like, dude, come on. You supposed to be like the captain, a leader or something, you know.
Yeah.
So when they kind of used wrestling term, when they turned him heel, it was like, it kind of fit for you now. You know, now you're more of a villain. Of like, I kind of had a little bit more retrospect on the character, but like, all right, I like him a little bit more now. So I guess I like him as a villain more than a hero.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do? Where you want to do? Where you want to go with your YouTube channel? Like, what are you trying to? What do you want it to be?
I really a number of things. I want it to be where people tune in and they might see, because I go to conventions and I want to, I capture footage for it. So I want them to be able to see, if they can't make it, know that there are comic book conventions, different places, because everybody don't know, and everybody can't go. But I want to do that. Showcase like what's hot in comics coming out. I'm trying to get more knowledge about that, top 10s, or what's trending, what's hot. This book might be hot, going up and down in value, stuff like that. So it's just a different number of things I want to do with the channel. I thought about it, like I can't limit it to just one. I want to be able to have diversity on it.
Right.
And like when I first started it, it was more for my wrestling career, but I was on the tail end of my wrestling career. So I was just like, let me see what I can do with it, remix or whatever, sit and think. And then thought came to me one day, like, you can showcase comics on it. Okay, great, I can do that. How do I go about doing it? So one of my best friends, he put together a couple of shows for me to do, and I have like 4 episodes, and then I did comic book pools, and last one I did was like key comics or something like that. So I'm just trying different things to see kind of what's sticking, get my niche on it.
So it started as a wrestling page. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's great, man. I'm glad to see, man, that it's more people. You know what I mean? That, again, I say like us, that are into comics, man. I wanted to make the channel to bring more people into it. Yeah, like you said, bringing more people into comics that probably wanted to get into it, or had some interest or whatnot, and maybe didn't know how to get into it, or if they should, or if they wanted to, and try to push them over the edge. But yeah, man.
One thing that I think, if y'all watched Cookie's interview earlier, he asked Muncie at the comic shop, was one of the biggest misconceptions about comics. And my thing is, people think it's all about superheroes. Right. And I'm like, there is a comic book out there for everybody. You just have to know what you're looking for. You have stuff that's crime-based dramas. You have stuff that's mysteries. You have
horror. Horror.
You got horror. Drama. My wife over here whispering, they be like, "You even have sex comics?" Yes, babe, you even have sex comics. So
Oh, man. Those under the bed back in the day.
We call those whatever.
Yeah. Plus, it's the stories. For me, when I was growing up, it was always the stories. The stories were always intriguing. Like they were, especially DC. For me, I liked a lot of the DC stories because they were always, it was melodramatic, but it was good. And it told a story through pictures and through words. So I like it was just it's robust, like, you know what I mean. And then every once in a while they drop a bombshell on you, like a big one, and you're like, oh man, like whoa, like,
dude, I can still remember where I was at when they announced the death of Superman. You know, like people talk about where were you when Martin Luther King was assassinated, or JFK, or you know, when the Challenger blew up, or whatever big event. You know, I still remember where I was at when death of Superman happened. My dad and I, we were sitting in our kitchen watching TV, and they come across the news feed like somebody literally died, and everybody just kind of stopped. It was like,
he did, yeah, you're right.
You know,
he did, yeah. It was on the
Superman
radio and
dead.
everything.
And I'm sitting there like, oh God, Superman dead. Like, okay, well, what's gonna be my go-to comic book now? You know, as a kid, I'm like, well, okay, well, what are they gonna do? I knew, you know, maybe somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew they had plans to bring him back, but it was just like,
right.
How in the world you gonna do this without Soup? You know?
Yeah, Third Eye. He don't like Superman, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, good.
You know what? And if you from back in the day, a lot of people didn't like Superman. They thought he was too powerful. They thought like if you ever go to the older comics and you just go back and read the mailing section where they were mailing letters. Oh, they used to dog Superman, man. They dog Superman. They'd be like, oh, he's too powerful.
I mean, it was never. Yeah, I never liked the fact that he just seemed like infallible, you know, just nothing to hurt him. So there was like no risk ever. There was no, you know, and that was just my understanding of it. But, you know, I talked to fans of Superman and they said it's really not like that. And, you know, there's a lot more to him. But yeah, I always thought it was like a very shallow kind of, I think a lot of people think that, but it's not like that. It's definitely not like that.
Yeah.
Batman is a dismal.
Yeah.
Right, Batman. Yeah, they call him a Boy Scout and all that. Yeah.
Batman was off the chain back then, man. He was that was off the chain, bro. Like he, you know, they would call him, he'd be like, what do you want? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? They call him on, he'd be like, oh, it was like priority one alert, Batman. He'd be like, what do you want? And they'd be like, we need your help. He'd be like, I'm busy. And hang up on him, like, I'm busy. Get somebody else to do it. Like I was like, Batman's off the chain.
But DC, I always felt like DC was a very superhero-oriented, you know, publisher. But you guys are, you know, heavy in DC. I'm more of a Marvel Valiant, you know, guy. But what DC comics are there that aren't superhero? You know what I mean? That are like, what do they have?
Yeah, they got a lot, man. DC has a lot of back. You would have to go back to like the 60s and the 40s. Like you would go back then. They had like a lot of DC actually started out as exactly what it is, Detective Comics.
Detective Comics, yeah.
They just wrote like stories, like detective stories. Guys would solve crimes and cases like Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew, stuff like that. They did a lot of that. Yeah, they did a lot of that. And I think one of their first, Shazam is like one of their oldest superheroes. You got Shazam and a couple others. Like they were
Jonah Hex.
Jonah Hex is like, Jonah Hex is like one of their, you know, Spectra. Yeah, they started coming out. They did a lot of Western comics. It's really the time as times changed. Because remember, at one point Westerns were really big,
right?
And that's all that was on TV. That's all. If you didn't have a Western thing going on, you didn't have nothing going on. You know.
I thought Jonah Hex was kind of like he had some kind of powers or something.
Who?
Jonah Hex.
Nah. Jonah Hex is exactly what his name is. Hex. When he come around,
I saw the movie.
It don't happen to him. But anything he put his hand into, it's just that's why they, you know, and it's like everything happens and he almost dies, but he doesn't. And it's they don't over dramatically play it like, you know, like bullets would be shooting at him and he just walked through bullets and all that and none of them hit him. Yeah, it's not like that. It's like he'll shoot at a bad guy, miss, it'll hit a string, and then that'll hit something else, and then it'll blow something up, and the next thing you know, the whole town's on fire. And you're like, well, how this all? They be like, Jonah Hex was here. Like, you know, so yeah, he had a reputation for that, right? He had and then he could talk to the dead and stuff like that. You know what I mean, but it was Jonah Hex was good, man. It's good stories. It's good reading.
Didn't they do a movie? The Jonah Hex?
Yeah, I saw the movie.
It's trash.
It's kind of trash.
I saw the movie. It was trash.
Yeah, it was trash. It was like Aaron Rodgers. It was trash.
I didn't mind it. Like I didn't think it was that bad.
Pick you up to let you down. Just like Aaron Rodgers.
Was it trash because it was so inaccurate to the comic? Like, let's say you never heard of the comic, would it be a decent movie?
Nah,
it'd be trash, but if it wasn't nothing else on, you would watch it. But after you got done, you feel like after you just watched the Aaron Rodgers game, you like,
see, I
could have done something else. I could have just caught that.
He don't like Aaron Rodgers.
I could have caught that somewhere else, man.
Oh man,
that's great.
Nah, you brought up a good point, man, about there being a comic for everybody, and there's all kind of comics that aren't, superhero related. But a lot of people miss the indies. Like, what are some of your favorite indie publishers? Because really, you get when you read the indies, they have all the stories that are like dramas or horror or some genre that's not superhero related. I guess they try to be different.
Some of the stuff I read in independence, or at least that's not big two, as I call it, Dynamite, Image, and IDW, because I'm like,
those are Premiere.
Yeah,
those are Premiere. They got the big two, right? Then they got Premiere, which is like the next tier, which is Dynamite, IDW, Image, and then Indie is like.
Indie is like what you would like if say I'm writing a comic book or what is independent because I'm doing my own thing, but I'm trying to get noticed. I picked up a book called Odina from Concrete Comics, and I ordered it off their website, and I was like, it's really good. She black superhero heroine, I should say. Yeah. And she is really, really good. They got their own
she is thick.
Universe, kind of like the Justice League or the Avengers or something. Yeah, she is real thick. I made her my back screen on my text message, and my wife looks at it like, I'm like, yeah, it was a cool image. She just shook her head and whatever, and then that was it. But I read stuff like those, and trying to get more into another one from Fantasy Art Studios called Fear, and it's the story of a teenage boy who he knows he has superpowers, but he's not using them to be a superhero. It's like he wants to be a basketball player. He wants to play in the NBA.
Right.
So he kind of cheating a little bit,
Because if we really got superpowers, how many of us would just like be a vigilante?
Right, exactly. I'm thinking like, shoot, man, if I knew I had superpowers and be out on the court and I could drop 60 a game, hey, I'm doing it. But his thing is they got this older superhero of the town. He's called the Crimson Avenger, I believe that's his name, and he's looking to retire, but he can't retire yet because he has to pass down a mantle. And one of the bad guys is trying to, his arch enemy is trying to kill him and everything. And he finally finds this kid. The arch enemy finds this kid, the one that has the superpowers. So he's like, all right, I'm trying to take out all basically metahumans. And I know he's one, so I'm trying to take him out. The Avengers trying to find him so he can kind of school him and be like, look, you got to become the town's next hero. So reluctantly, he wants to do it. But that's one I've been reading, like I said, from Fantasy Art Studios. And just different ones I follow on Instagram and Twitter. I'm trying to get out there, get them noticed.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
There's one, I forget the name of it. It's a guy, he's like James Bond, he's a spy. Black guy. I forget the name of it. I bought like the first 2 or 3 issues, and I didn't buy any more after that. I'll get the name for you next time we get on. I have it all. I have all the info for you. But whenever I go to my local comic shop, they always have it in there.
Okay.
So, yeah, and they always say it's good. So I just picked up like 2 issues, and I was like, man, this is good. It's kind of good. So, but yeah, it's a lot of indie comics that you can get into, but they don't get the recognition, man. You should have like I don't know. I think they should have like an indie platform or something like that.
They
can get more noticed. Yeah, where they can get more noticed. Yeah, because the other comics overshadow.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's one thing I kind of want to do with my channel is promote stuff like that, so people can get their artwork out. Because I'm like reading indie comics, people put so much of their heart and soul and passion into it. You know, it's more than just a job to them. It's like, look, this is my project. This is my baby. I want you to check it out. So I want to get stuff like that. People, get people more notice, because I think that's going to help the industry overall. And it's definitely going to help them out, because I'm like, they're doing this for a reason. Yeah, it's their passion, but they want to turn their passion into profit too.
That's true. That's true. That's so true. That's so true.
So yeah, so it's a thing. Support, support indie writers, indie artists, indie creators.
Okay. Now, as of last year, best indie comic you read last year?
Ooh, man.
That would be probably Niobe.
Yeah.
You read that?
My wife has been reading it. Ooh.
Yeah, I've seen that. Matter of fact, hold on, I'll show you something.
He was like, that's on eBay.
All white on, but
oh, nice. Niobe, She Is Life, She Is Death. I actually ordered that She Is Death. It's supposed to be in this week.
yeah.
That is dope.
I've seen. I've never read those. I see them all the time when I go in the store. I never read them.
Pick them up, man. We picked one up and thumbed through it, and I was like, "Yo, this is kind of good."
I mean, this is trade paperback.
Where'd you get that from?
Probably eBay.
Okay.
Probably eBay, but yeah, this is Stranger.
Yeah.
Comics is the publisher, and yeah, it's indie. Black writer, black artist.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, gorgeous artwork.
Oh man, that is
nice. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that is nice. I like that.
Drawn by Jamal Campbell. That Campbell is his name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Yeah, that is dope. One of the ones I read was Six. You were talking about this with Cook, I think. It's called Black. That was one I read not last year, the year before, and I was kind of tripping out on it because the premise is what if? Oh, that's some beautiful art.
That is a poster.
That's
nice. Yeah.
Man, that's really good.
Now, what does she do? What is her superpower?
She's not a superhero. She's not. I don't think she has a superpower. Now, I bought these for my wife.
Okay.
But I think your wife can probably tell it better than me, like about what she is, what's the thing, because I haven't read these.
She says she's has more mystical superpowers, mystical power.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Like Doctor Strange. So,
yeah, I think more on, I guess kind of more on a spiritual level. Is that right? Or
okay.
she's gonna go check it out in a minute, but yeah, she was telling me about that. Like one store we went to, a friend of mine owns. She recommended it to us. So actually, my wife found it and she was like, "Yeah, you should check this out." So we thumbed through, and I was like, "This is dope." Yeah, her first appearance was in The Untamed.
Oh, okay.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought they just made her a book.
But yeah, man, it's a nicely drawn book, to say the least.
I might have to check it out. I see it all the time when I go in the comic store. I just never picked it up. Yeah, I never thought to pick it up.
And this isn't really indie; it's Image, but this was dope. This was real dope.
Okay.
Son of Shaolin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man, it's a kung fu epic set in the back alleys and subway tunnels of Harlem. Kiri is an inspiring street artist who's struggling to make ends meet, learns that he is the last living descendant of a secret sect of ancient Shaolin elders. Confused and unsure of where to turn, he finds a father figure in the mysterious Master Fong. Fong trades Kiri trains Kiri in martial arts in anticipation of an attack from Red Fist, a relentless killer who has already murdered the rest of Kyrie's bloodline. But I got it because, you know what I'm saying? It said hip hop and kung fu have always had a storied relationship. And
that's
like
true.
Hip hop and comics have all right, yeah. Hip hop, kung fu, hip hop, comics.
Comics, yeah.
And that's
why there's quite a few comic characters that do kung fu.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Like when you go in the DC universe, you got like they say in the DC universe, they say Deathstroke is the best hand-to-hand combatant in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Arguably, they say arguably he's he's the best. Even better than Batman. He said him and Batman, him and Batman tangled to a standstill a couple of times.
Yeah, even sometimes Deathstroke even bested him a few times.
He got it, a couple of times Deathstroke got it, Deathstroke is no joke.
This one is one book that I picked up at Books A Million one time.
That's black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
What's that about? What was Black about?
It's pretty much what if black people were the only people in the world that have superpowers, and it kind of takes like stuff from real life events about young black men getting harassed and sometimes killed by police or gangs and everything like that. And one of the main characters, he gets shot. He actually died, but he doesn't die. He comes back to life. And his two homeboys are shot dead, and he was wondering why he's still living. So this secret group is trying to recruit him to, one, save his life, but tell him, like, look, you have powers that nobody else had. And he's, of course, in shock about his homeboys dying. He's like, I don't want these powers. Well, you have the ability to do something to save your people. And he sees more and more people, black people that look like him, that's exhibiting and showing superpower. Right. I think it went, I want to say it went 5 or 6 issues, but they have 3 different volumes. They have one that's getting ready to drop in a graphic form tomorrow. So I told my wife we were going to order it off of Midtown Comics online.
Oh,
okay.
And there is a lot of comics that have nothing to do with superheroes or superpowers or any kind of powers at all.
Right.
I guess you can't really read this backwards, but this is called High Rollers, and it's just like real street, just what I mean, like real just regular. So if if you're not really into the superhero thing, and you look for more serious subject matter, it's definitely out there. But when graphic novel versus a regular novel, of course you got the great art. You know what I mean? All of that. So there's a lot of reasons why you would get into comics, even if you don't like superhero stuff.
Yeah.
This is about the life of Cameron Quinn, a ruthless upstart out to make a name for himself in a tale of crime and destiny from the critically acclaimed novelist Gary Phillips. But yeah, it's like it says it's a mix between like American Gangster and The Wire.
Oh wow.
So American Gangster and The Wire. No. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man, that you can get into, man. I have a few.
High Rollers, remember that.
And this guy here, Ed Brubaker. Check him out. Ed Brubaker is one of the illest comic authors. Period. His Daredevil was off the chain, but he writes a lot of like crime stuff, like crime graphic novels.
Okay.
And dude is phenomenal. Listen, man, these stories, they suck you in, and you know what I mean, you really like are reading like on the edge of your seat, like really what's like, dude is mad talented. And
and $100 later, he's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's dope.
Nothing wrong with it.
I definitely have to check that out. The especially like diversity and different type of comics and everything going.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, it's literally one for everybody. You just have to know what you are looking for.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I like the stories, man. The story catches me, I'm gone. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna read every last one until it's done.
That's kind of how.
Criminal.
I've heard of Criminal.
Yeah, check
I've
Criminal.
never read it, but I've heard of it.
I never heard of that.
Criminal is bananas. And then you got Unbound. This is an indie from Xenoscope. He's a black werewolf hunter. But he's like, it's like in the future. It's real like tech, you know, like almost, you know, Shadowrun. I don't know, like cyberpunk type of an era with werewolves and yeah, like you can see, yeah, like, you know, real cyberpunk type, but it's got some dope art. But it's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing story, man. Unbound. So you got, I'm saying, he's killing vampires and werewolves and all of that. So, but it's not like anything like Blade at all. Somebody drew the comparison before, but yeah, he's nothing like Blade. It's another dope indie, man, for y'all to check out.
Unbound. Okay.
Yeah.
And my wife said we need a list.
Yeah. Y'all remember the movie Chronicle, and what are your thoughts? One of the sequels. Is Chronicle? Who asked? Brandon Williams. Was that the one that's three kids? Three. They're like three teens or 20, you know, early 20s, like young kids, and they end up getting superpowers, and it's like a found footage type thing.
I don't think we watched it. I remember.
Yeah, she said she hadn't watched it.
I saw that. That was dope. It's like a found footage movie where, like, you know, it's like someone walking around with a camera. And
okay.
And these.
It's called Chronicles.
Chronicles. Yeah. These kids get powers.
Michael B. Jordan stars in.
Oh, the one Michael B. Jordan. That's called I know. I think that is Chronicle. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, that was good. You know, Michael B. Jordan's a big sci-fi fan. He loves sci-fi. He loves that shit.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah. He admits he's a sci-fi nut. He'll tell you that straight up. He just made a movie a little while ago called Ken.
Okay.
He talks about how making a movie. He talks about how he's big into sci-fi, like really big into it. Like he says, he's like a sci-fi nerd of sorts. But you wouldn't guess that about him. And you see him, like, nah. He's like, but he said he's a big. That's why he was Rooster Teeth. He partnered with Rooster Teeth and a few other, sci-fi entities to get some stuff out there.
Okay. I saw we recently watched Fahrenheit 451 that he was in, him and Michael Shannon.
Oh yeah,
that was good. Yeah,
that was good.
It was all right.
That was good.
All right.
Yeah, that was real good.
And that's based on a novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's ironic that it's a book, a novel, because I'm like, of course, in the movie, for anyone who hadn't seen it, is like firemen going around burning books because they're knowledge.
Yep.
So instead of
they want to keep everybody from learning what's really what.
Yep.
So the firemen, instead of putting out fires, they burn shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's real creative.
I think it's
That's real creative, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's Philip K. Dick. So if you know anything about Philip K. Dick, that's Blade Runner, that's Scanner Darkly, that's Minority Report, like all the sci-fi movies that you could think of that are real dope, like real intricate stories and shit. That's Philip K. Dick. It's one of the illest authors of all time. Sci-fi, forget about it. Futuristic, like, dude's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
He did something that y'all see this? A Scanner Darkly?
Darkly.
I might check that out.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah, it's like you see how they're kind of like cell shaded. It's Robert Downey Jr., Keanu Reeves, Woody Harrelson.
Okay. What's it about?
It's dope, man. It's crazy, bro. Like it's about in the future, cops can wear these narcotic cops. They wear these like suits that disguise who they are, and man, they send this one guy, Keanu Reeves. He's undercover, but he kind of don't know he's undercover no more because he got so deep into the drug that's called substance D that the whole world is an epidemic. It's like epidemic. Everybody's on D. Everybody's on death. Everyone eats these capsules, and he gets so deep on it that he like loses his mind, and they plan to make him lose his mind. The cops, you know, the narcs or whatever that put him, you know, that sent him out there undercover, because they wanted him to get so bad on that drug that they would send him to this rehab place. And in the rehab place, when you really fried in the brain and you completely like can't even think, you know, coherently, they send you to this place where they believe, the feds believe, that the drugs are being manufactured. But it's like in the guise of a rehab type place. The only way to get you in there, they don't let nobody in there. The only way you can get in there is to really be like retarded.
Oh, okay. So they figure if they get him in there, they can find it.
Then they get him in there, and then they're hoping that some sort of switch or click will happen, and he'll somehow, you know, let them know that it's in there. But yeah, man, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
This is wild. See that, yeah. But I don't know, Stu. You said you had something you wanted to talk about.
Pedro Pascal confirms that the Mandalorian will jump timelines in season 3, and that's been confirmed as of the Ahsoka spinoff, because the Ahsoka spinoff is going to incorporate a War Between Worlds, which was the Star Wars way of jumping from timeline to timeline.
Right. In Rebel.
Yeah, Rebel. Because, you know, Ahsoka's looking for the guy from Rebels. She's looking for the kid from Rebels. Yeah.
And Ezra. Yeah, Ezra.
Yeah, she's looking for Ezra. Yeah.
Looking for Thrawn. She said she asked, remember, she was telling the one lady that she was looking for Thrawn.
Yes. Well, it's supposed to be getting a live action Star Wars War Between Worlds sometime. Because I think they're gonna run the Ahsoka and something else. There's Ahsoka and Revenge of the New Republic. They're gonna be running the same time as Mando or something like that.
I know. Boba Fett is gonna run along with Mando 3, season 3.
Yeah, and Storm is because Mando is set 5 years before, or 5 years after 5 years after Return of the Jedi, but 25 years before Episode 7.
Yeah, it's before. Yeah, but when you say time jump, like what do you mean? Like they're gonna come back and it's gonna be 10 years later or something like that?
You know how the Star Wars story has a lot of plot holes in it.
You're right.
So the time jump is going to fix those. It's going to fix those plot holes.
Right.
Fixing those plot holes, because a lot of people ask questions like Palpatine. When did Palpatine have a son, so he can have a granddaughter? Like, when did that even? Yeah, like when did that even come about?
Right. They said he impregnated somebody, like kind of like how they want to say that he impregnated. They might say, I don't know, that he impregnated Anakin's mom. Nah, Anakin's mom.
Oh, Anakin's mom.
Okay. Anakin. That's why he was so powerful, and that's why he was immaculate, you know, pregnancy or whatever.
Wow. And then you got another way they could do it, another story plot hole is Luke Skywalker. After Return of the Jedi, we know nothing of what happened with Luke and the Jedi. They mentioned the Jedi Temple and that he started the New Order.
Well, I mean, we do know, and they can stop fronting like we don't, because they wrote books like Legends. We know, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, according to Kathleen Kennedy,
yeah,
right. None of that exists. So they're gonna use that to travel back and forth between timelines.
Her days are numbered at Lucasfilm, bro. She's not gonna last.
You're not the only one that feels that way.
I know.
Also in comic breaking news, Storm is planning on leaving the X-Men.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yeah, she's leaving, and Callisto is the only person that knows that she's doing it, and she hasn't told anybody else yet.
I'm not quite there yet.
Okay. Well, that's an X-Men.
I'm reading X-Men as they come out. Like, I'm reading X-Men, everything in Dawn of X. I'm reading.
Okay. Well, that's the giant-sized X-Men #1, and that's the Cook's pick of the week.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't plan on leaving the X-Men, man. That's something new.
Yeah. I read it. I don't want to spoil it.
Wait, now what issue is this?
X-Men, giant-sized X-Men #1.
Oh, Storm, giant-sized Storm. Okay.
Well, no, X-Men, giant-sized X-Men #1. She's actually.
Oh, but who's on the cover? Okay.
The cover the cover should be a picture of Storm. It like the cover I seen was a picture of her with her face. It's like a bias shoulder with electricity around her, but it was a dope cover. She basically is talking to Callisto, and he realizes that she wants to leave. But he asks her, if you want to leave, why didn't you tell anybody? Like, and she asks Callisto, like, listen, I do, and I am, but let's just keep it between us for now.
Right.
And just for now, we'll keep it. And she's going, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But when we were talking earlier about WandaVision,
if it's giant-sized X-Men Storm, which I think it is, then I am past that. She didn't leave yet.
No, she didn't leave yet. She's planning on leaving, but she's not. She hasn't leave, but she hasn't told anybody. That's the big thing.
Yeah, that was a little one-shot. That there's like a one-off. Like during Dawn of X, they did 4 of them. They did a giant-sized Nightcrawler, a giant-sized Magneto, and a giant-sized Storm, and a giant-sized Phantom X.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they're the annuals. But they just
sort of one-shots, and they just came out like every other month. They dropped.
Yeah, and then you got Detective Comics 1033. Damian Wayne leaves the Robin mantle behind.
Mm-hmm.
And Teen Titans Annual #2. Him and Batman have like a fight. They get it in.
Oh
man. Yeah, that was after Alfred died.
Yeah.
He got Damian wild out. He was going out killing criminals, trapping them. He's doing all kinds of stuff. And Batman was like, "We don't do that. This is not the way."
He kind of went back to his League of Assassins days.
Yeah, he did. And so now, he's officially going to be leaving the mantle of Robin behind. He's gonna adorn his own persona. We just don't know what he's going to be called. Yeah, and those are also the Cook's pick of the week: Detective Comics 1033 and Titans Annual #2.
Okay.
Yeah. When we were talking about the WandaVision thing earlier, it was Vision Scarlet Witch leads into House of M, and Vision Scarlet Witch is what WandaVision is based on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that leads into House of M. Yeah, all those events lead up to House of M.
It's part of the House of M story.
Right. Well, it's everything that happened before House of M.
But what I'm saying though is that it's kind of that build up to House of M, but it's still part of House of M. It's part of the
but for the viewers, if they want to know, if they want to read, it's called Vision and Scarlet Witch. That's the story. Yeah, that's the storyline to read. Vision and Scarlet Witch. Yeah,
Vision and Scarlet Witch. Probably so. Let me see. I got 2 different versions of it. One we found this weekend, and one that I come across on. Where's the other? Right behind. Trying to look down. These were the 2 that my wife found.
Well, there we go. That's it. Vision and Scarlet Witch. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, now that was a series that, it was a short run series, but there was several, like it went pretty far.
Yeah, this was like one I think that predated that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Yeah, everything that's happening in WandaVision now is the events that take place in Vision and Scarlet Witch, and also House of M.
I don't know, bro. I mean,
he's up to that.
I know Vision.
I know Vision and Scarlet. Yeah, I know Vision and Scarlet Witch. The events of it, a lot of stuff that, like, it's not verbatim, but things that take place in there are stuff that took place in Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Right.
And they just, piece together their own thing.
Piecing it parts from here and parts from here.
Right. So if you want to read it, if anybody wants to read it, that's where it starts at.
Mm-hmm.
Read that, and then you work your way up to House of M.
But if you want to understand what's going on in WandaVision right now, where it's leading, like what's really happening, just read House of M. Go straight to House of M.
Okay.
Right.
What's the backstory of the plot of what's happening, why they're in this reality and all of that. Read House of M.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Vision Volume 2, number 1, which is another Cook's pick of the week. There's another comic that stars Vision, and it's one of his lesser known comics, but it is a collector's item. It's a collector's item. You should, be able to get that for under $100 raw right now. So,
which one is it?
Vision Volume 2, number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a couple Strange Tales 179.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one you should be able to get pretty cheap right now. That is a collector's. That's something you should have in your collection if you're a collector. And Detective Comics 359. It's another Cook's pick of the week.
Nice.
And those are gems you should have in your collection if you're a collector. And right now you can get it for pretty cheap. Get them while you can, because they're gonna go up. Because remember, Reno, we were looking at the Moon Knight joint, and last week it jumped from $100 to like $300. In less than like a couple of days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah. So once people start to find out that a show's coming out or a movie's coming out, that first appearance of that character just jumps, skyrockets. So for a collector, like what I try to do is I try to keep my ear to the ground and find out before everyone else what shows and movies are coming out.
Exactly.
That's how you know what to go grab.
And that's how we get the Cook's pick of the week. Cooks has his ear to the ground. He lets us know, and he gives us his pick of the week. So
no doubt.
So we go off for the Cooks. Yeah, the Cooks pick of the week.
I don't know where he at, man. I thought Cooks was coming.
He's probably got his. He's probably got his ear to the digital streets, and he's out there getting more picks for us, man. He's just getting more picks.
Either that or doing some editing, because I know he just got through wrapping up that interview at the comic shop.
Right.
And I told him that, I got invited to this too, and he said, I'm a tune in, so ain't no telling about it. He probably, like I said, he either go at home editing or doing something. I know he did buy some books from it, so he probably looking from them too.
Hey Chris, we about to end the show. Tell them where they can find you at, your social media. I got a show in like 15 minutes, so
okay, Djaytiger. I'm on Instagram at Spadeonomics, Twitter at Spadeonomics Comics. Again, my YouTube channel 1Ace7, and eBay Super Spade 22.
No doubt. And that's Spade. That's SPADEO.
SPADEA Nomics Comics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spadeonomics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Definitely, man. We want to thank you, man. Definitely for coming through and sharing your knowledge, man. You definitely welcome back anytime. Reno, that connection y'all got too with 6 Element of hip hop. You know what I mean? So definitely appreciate you, brother. Good talk.
Man, thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed it.
Definitely. And we definitely subscribe to your channel and support you as well.
Appreciate it, and likewise.
Definitely.
Keep it up, man. Keep doing what you do, man. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, brothers. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you,
All right, y'all. I'll see y'all 8:30, 8:45. This has been another edition of Hip Hop and Comics. Salute to Reno, Stu Dog in the building always. Go follow Six Element of Hip Hop on YouTube. And we'll see y'all next time. Hey.
Peace.